Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. Today guys, we are taking another cheeky look at Cardano, specifically a new stablecoin for the Cardano blockchain. We're going to have a look at that first, then we're going to get into the ADA to USD price chart and see where the Cardano token currently sits and what might be in store in the near future for ADA. So as always guys, if you find this useful, informative, maybe a dash entertaining, do go ahead and smash up that like button. Chris really does appreciate it, and so do I. And if by chance you are not yet subscribed to the channel, do go ahead and subscribe. By subscribing, you will be kept up to date with all the videos and live streams that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And Chris, I think it's also a good opportunity now to kind of talk a little bit about our Cardano ADA staking pool. We launched it a few days ago. Yeah, it's getting some traction now. It's fantastic to be, a part of the Cardano ecosystem. And as a part of that, guys, you are now able to delegate to our staking pool as well and earn those lucrative rewards by delegating your ADA to our particular pool called 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏, right? It goes by the ticker of 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏. So do check it out. It's available on the Yuri wallet or the Deadliest wallet as well. Chris, shall we jump on over to the desktop and take a look at this fantastic news from 𝗕𝗪𝗀𝗀 and Cardano?
Yeah, once we've done that, we'll go and look at all the prices and predictions and all that jazz, all that lovely stuff.
Fantastic.
Can't wait. Love the project.
Let's do it. Right. So 𝗕𝗪𝗀𝗀 announces a launch of the first stablecoin 𝗕𝗔USD for Cardano. So 𝗕𝗪𝗀𝗀 has announced the stablecoin 𝗕𝗔USD, which is based on the Ergo blockchain and will be available on the Cardano with Plutus. So 𝗕𝗔USD is an algorithmic stablecoin that is designed to eliminate the problems of CDP based protocols. So this is fresh news, really. It came out during the Ergo Summit of 2021, held on Saturday, just gone. So Ergo announced 𝗕𝗔USD, the stablecoin, follows a novel algorithmic design developed on the Ergo blockchain in a joint partnership between Ergo Foundation 𝗕𝗪𝗀𝗀 and Charles Hoskinson in Input Output Global, or IOG, the parent company of IOHK. Which seems like a bit of a mouthful, but these fantastic guys have been hard at work. Ultimately the CTO at Input Output Hong Kong tweeted that 𝗕𝗔USD will be available on the Cardano blockchain once smart contract functionalities are enabled on the mainnet with Plutus. So our first stablecoin on Ergo, soon on Cardano with Plutus, which is fantastic. Unlike Ethereum-based crypto-backed stablecoins, such as the DAI, 𝗕𝗪𝗀𝗀 introduces a ∆Coin protocol-inspired design that does not rely on CDPs or centralized debt positions. The reason for this is the volatility of the CDP-based protocols in terms of high volatility and blockchain congestion. So, as 𝗕𝗪𝗀𝗀 states, Black Thursday, when MakerDAO CDPs were triggered for liquidation due to the volatility and then sold for $0 due to blockchain congestion that prevented others from bidding, demonstrating that a new design is needed. For 𝗕𝗔USD, this scenario is not possible. So without CDPs, we do not have liquidation events, nor the requirement for users to perform transactions to ensure the liquidations actually work properly. Rather than allowing a bad actor to steal funds away from the protocol, these are inherited vulnerabilities, facets of the CDPs for minting stablecoins, and as such exposes more risk to end users. So basically 𝗕𝗪𝗀𝗀𝗀's goal here is to automate as much as possible, and I totally am with that. I live in the world of automation, Chris, and I will automate everything and anything I can. And 𝗕𝗪𝗀𝗀𝗀's goal is the same, to automate as much as possible within the mathematics of the protocol itself. So rather than relying on dynamic transaction postings that can break down in the event of a blockchain overload, while this doesn't mean that 𝗕𝗔USD protocol solves all stablecoin problems, it is an attempt to create a higher security alternative to the current trends in the crypto sphere, which is fantastic. So I'm always for new approaches to these things, Chris, and I think you are too.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. So, how does the 𝗗𝗔_USD stablecoin work, or for Cardano work specifically, right? So, according to the GitHub repository, there are two types of parties interacting with the protocol: reserve providers and the 𝗗𝗔_USD users. The first pay ERGs, or Ergo's native currency, into the DApp reserves, thereby minting reserve coins. That represents the ERG reserves. The users of the protocol also pay ERGs into the DApp reserves, which creates 𝗗𝗔_USD instead. This is allowed by the protocol only if there are enough reserves above the reserve ratio in the DApp. Users can redeem 𝗗𝗔_USD for ERGs from the reserve at any time. So relatively basic concept there, and it's nice to see the approach to it. So reserves providers can only do so if the price of ERGs increase or a significant amount of the protocol fees is collected, covering the value of all existing minted 𝗗𝗔_USDs plus an additional margin. And here's a quote. So, as such reserves providers allow 𝗗𝗔_USD users to enjoy stability of value. On their end, the reserve providers absorb the potential upside. If the value of the reserves go up via the price of ERGs increasing compared to USD, but also absorb the potential downside, and this is basically if the underlying cryptocurrency in the reserve goes down in price. So basically, users are allowed to enjoy the stability a stablecoin offers, but without the risk of the volatility. Whereas the volatility and the profits, or the risk to the profits, sit with the reserve there. So, or the provider, which is fantastic to see. So the default 𝗗𝗔_USD protocol fee is set to 1% protocol fee and a 0.25% upfront implementer fee. So it's good to see another fantastic stablecoin being created under an algorithmic approach. And it's good to see that that's also going on Cardano, Chris, which is fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's just another string to the bow, isn't it, for Cardano? Really exciting time ahead, I kind of feel.
Absolutely. So let's get into this, right? This is the ADA to USD chart. This is currently on the daily. We can see that the last 3 days have been relatively indecisive. We've been hovering between two very key levels. And what I mean by that, if I just zoom on in here and make this a little bit bigger for you guys, what you can see is we're kind of hovering on our support level at 34.6 cent. And basically our price point just above, right? We're in this zone for 3 consecutive days. Now the wicks have been up, the wicks have been down. And we've also tested the high level of 36.7 as well on the 24th of January. This is an interesting indication for a few different reasons. It's one that say that, okay, we've got a bit of consolidation happening here, guys, in this particular line. We've also come down, we've tested some areas already multiple times. We could be starting to see potentially a movement to the upside. So let's see what else we can see within our data here. So on the daily, we obviously have that consolidation, those 3 candles of exactly the same kind of a body and volume. We have a MACD currently in a negative position on the daily chart, and we have an RSI that is about 60 on the chart level here. So it's not in the high end here of overbought, and it's definitely not in the oversold situation, but it is a little higher than the ideal 50 level. So let's go throw this into a 4-hourly chart and see if that changes our outlook any. We can see that the Bollinger Bands are getting tight, specifically in this zone here, as if they were tight in here as well. And when they had that breakout of that Bollinger Band on this 4-hourly chart, we can see we found support and we bounced up back into the bands from there. We can see the same thing here with a pull down and a bounce back in, which is fantastic. So those fake outs just are not sticking from a bearish perspective. Now, if we look at this MACD line, we can see that we're actually getting negative cross more recently. This is the most recent 4-hourly. And before that, we had a positive cross over here. So that's when we'll move into the upside. Now our RSI is indicating that we're actually below the 50 level. Okay, so coming down and heading lower. And when we were over here, when we had this positive crossover, that was when we were heading towards an oversold status. So the 4-hourly chart is giving us a bit of a mixed signal. We're having a negative MACD cross, yet a positive motion here on the RSI. The Bollinger Bands are getting tighter and squeezing those candles down as well. So we'll have to see how this plays out, whether we're going to get a pull down to a support or a potential upswing. So let's go and draw this into our 1-hourly view and see if that changes our outlook as well. So here we can see that we did have that negative cross, and we are currently in a negative position on that MACD. We can also see that we are getting very, very low here, just above that 30. I think this brings us in about 37 on our RSI. Okay, so not fully oversold, but very, very sold nonetheless. So definitely below that medium 50 level. Okay, so looking at the candles, things are getting incredibly tight and squeezed by those Bollinger Bands. And if I scroll up, we can see that looking like this. Ultimately, maybe there's a movement here down towards 33.9 cents support level. We've been down here before, and when we get here, there's lots of buying pressure to move us to the upside. So we could potentially see a bounce from that 33.9 cent, Chris. And that, in doing so, might pull our RSI down low enough that we might start a bounce from the oversold status. That would then in turn trigger a positive MACD movement, and maybe we might have another attempt at piercing through that 36.7 cent in the immediate future. So let's pull this back to the daily and zoom on in again, guys. So we can now have a bit of a clearer view of what's happening within these candles here and what we are trading in between these lines. The 33.9 cents is an area that we tested about 2 or 3 days ago, depending on when you view this video. And it's an area that we've bounced up from very, very quickly. So I imagine that there's a very strong support in this area. We can see this 33.9 being tested over here frequently. We obviously see the wick coming into the area over here, and most recently the wick of this particular candle as well. So from that 33.9, it's a strong support level, and I think that will hold if we do have to slip down there. If we slip down to 33.9, our RSI will indicate that we are becoming oversold, and we should see a bounce to the upside. Likewise with our MACD, we'll have a positive cross when that RSI gets low enough, and ultimately we should start seeing a positive candle being produced. And in doing so, I'd like to think that we'd have another attempt at getting past that 36.7 resistance that we've been fighting against for the last few days. And in doing so, we might have another attempt at going to that 34.7 price target that we have scoped out on our chart. And that's our third price target for ADA in the short term near future. And once we hit that, guys, I'm going to reset our Fibonacci retracement and see what else we can predict in the future for the ADA token. Chris, anything you would like to add on the price of the ADA token?
No, I just think it's bullish, really. I'm just really excited for the next couple of weeks and seeing sort of the price action. I really am.
I know it's going to be absolutely immense. Once we see Ethereum pop towards that $29.42, I think we're really going to get some momentum on these altcoins. Absolutely fantastic stuff. So guys, if you found this useful, don't forget to smash up that like button. Chris really does appreciate it. And if you're new and not yet subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. By subscribing, you will be kept up to date with all the videos and live streams that we do at Cheeky Crypto. And for those people who would like to stake their ADA with the Cheeky Crypto delegation pool, then don't forget to check out our Cardano pool with the ticker of Cheek. In doing so, you can support us and the channel in growing our ADA delegation and minting blocks with us together for Cardano and earning those very lucrative rewards. And with all that said and done, we hope you have a fantastic day, guys, and we'll catch you all in the next one.
Yeah, take care.